Hey everybody, how's everybody doing today? Nice to see everybody that's jumped in the channel. Starting the show, just a handful of people in here so far, so we'll give it a few minutes. We'll run through who's joined the show. Redneck, cue the pirate ship. Yes, we got to cue the pirate ship. Thanks, Bob, for the intro there, and we got Red 79 in here. Alban is over there. Alban, if you care to join the panel, you're more than welcome. I sent you a link on Telegram. Again, I had invited several people today. I don't know who may join or who may not join. Maybe you'll have just me. Who knows? But yeah, if you'd like to jump on the panel, you're more than welcome to jump on the panel. We're going to discuss a few different things going on right now. And one of the people that let me send a message over to Next Level Tech, since we're going to be talking about Zion, and I know that he is a super fan of Zion. All right, you guys. So sent that off to him because we're going to be talking about that, because that is the buzz of the day, or I should say the buzz of the last 2 days. So, hey, Miss Sandy, how are you? Or I guess Sandy could be a male or female. So I'm not sure about that. But thanks for joining the show on the side there, Sandy. So again, if you're watching this via my Facebook page, I posted in the comments of this live stream the YouTube link. You're better off to join that YouTube link, and then you will see when I'm talking about the side chat, you'll actually see that. With Facebook, you do not see that side chat. So if you would like to click that link, it'll take you to YouTube, and then you're able to watch the same stream, but you're able to actually see some of the chat on the side. I don't have to always grab it and toss it into the discussion where you're able to see it. So Shinobi, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. And let's see, Philip joins the show. DJ Themes is in here. Trevor, thanks for joining us. Blind's Eye, thanks. And Roger, he joins in there. Then nice to see you, Roger. So again, we're going to talk about different things going on in streaming this week. We'll talk about some different news. We'll talk about some TV. We'll talk about some movies. We'll talk about some shows. Different things going on right now. And again, if you care to join the show, you may, and you can hit me up. I've sent out the link to a few of the people. And again, if I didn't send it out to you, you can always message me and I'll try to watch. I'm trying to watch my side chat over here on Telegram in case someone messages me that they'd like to join. So Louise, hey bud. Eddie, no, I'm not. I'm drinking water today. We'll see. I drank a little bit too much on on our Wednesday show. I was off Thursday, and to be honest, I had just. I mean, I wasn't hammered, but just had more than what I liked because I felt a little rough the next day. And I like to have a few beers and enjoy myself, but I don't like to feel bad the next day. So when you feel bad the next day, I'm at an age where I tried to take it to that limit and not push it. So Blindseye says he's going to stick with Cody. I'll stick with Cody. That is my go-to, but we know that there's a lot of people that are APK people that want an app. So, hey, to each its own. And hey, what works for you works for you. Donnie, what's up? Donnie says more and more getting shut down. Yeah. And we don't know a whole lot on this one. So, so let's see. DJ says Next Level is still doing their show. So they're still in a live show. So they may be finishing up here before long. So before we get to that, let's talk about some of the new things that are going in. We'll probably see my numbers jump up as soon as their show is over, and I have a raid from their viewers will jump over on here. So some of the new things today, Mulan came out. So that is why you don't see Blue on the show today. Blue is a Disney and Marvel fanatic, and we've talked about that a couple times in the last couple shows. She's been waiting for this live action show. she was waiting on it, and it's out, and that's why we won't see her today. Her and her daughter are having a girls' night of watching the movie. So again, great. I'm hoping that they have a great time. Trooper, what's up? What's up? Trooper, if you want to jump in the panel, you're more than welcome. You can always send me a DM and I will be happy to post it. Again, we're going to see where we go with that. So Mulan is released. $30 US, $35 Canadian. What's that? 25 pounds, or what is it? 25 pounds in the UK, something like that. So that's out today. So there are lots of people doing that. The Boys season 2. I'm a super fan of The Boys. I enjoyed The Boys season 1, and now season 2 is out. And so I think that dropped yesterday or today. I know 3 episodes is that. Mr. Alden, how are you doing?
Hey, what's up, brother? Sorry, it took me a while to get my stuff together.
Oh yeah.
Had to pull out the Wednesday headphones.
Yeah, it's not Wednesday, so he's like throws them away. They get tossed to the side. They're like, wait till Wednesday. So yeah, so yeah, The Boys is out. Now, were you a fan of the TV show The Boys?
Yeah, I watched The Boys. Yeah,
So if you watched season,
I didn't watch it yet. I've been having I've been messing with my sonar and radar lately, and as a matter of fact, I even have a couple questions for you. That's why I'm glad I jumped in.
Yeah, well, I will do my best to answer it.
I know you could do your best, but I know with everyone else that's out there,
Okay, good.
I don't mind looking like the idiot, that doesn't know. But I'm trying to think up ways, because that I have all this stuff that I want to store, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, that tends to be people that store that stuff, Plex, that create libraries for Plex and stuff. They tend to get overwhelmed because they want and they want and they want. It's like, when is it enough?
But I already have, and I got to put it out there.
I know. And we've talked about your music collection.
Yeah.
And the man's got, if it was recorded and released, it's now, is it in FLAC or is
no, it's
okay.
MP3s.
Oh Jesus! So that's if I could 30 terabytes, I could say, okay, it's in FLAC. It's big. Those are big files.
Right.
MP3 is not a big file. The whole album is 120 megs, 140 megs, maybe 200 megs. Depends on the bit rate you do with that. So okay, yeah. So we'll get to that. We'll go through some of the other shows. Raised by Wolves came out today, and I didn't realize that until I saw Blue mention something about that. She's done a little bit better job of queuing the things that she wants to watch. I'm still, she'll go ahead and queue up, 3 months or 4 months of things that are coming out that she knows that she wants, and she'll queue them. So as soon as they're available, boom, it grabs them, and she has them. So The Boys, like I said, Boys is out. Raised by Wolves, episodes 1 through 3. Both of those shows, I will probably wait another week. The Boys season 2, I think I'll go back to season 1 and refresh my memory on that, and that'll give me, because I can't binge watch too hard. I'm a baby binger. So after about 2 to 3 episodes, I usually stop.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll go back and catch season 1, and with my work schedule, it might take me a couple weeks to get through season 1, and then that'll give me time to get into season 2, and because I have a hard time remembering all that stuff
right.
of what happened back then. I remember near the end. I remember the season finale, but looking forward to that. I think that'll be pretty interesting. Interesting season.
Yeah.
So you liked them when season 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was really good. I liked how that was put together. Anyone who's into that superhero stuff, there was that other one that came out. What the heck was the name of it now? With
Titans?
No, it was on
Umbrella Academy.
Nope.
which that's another newish show.
Yeah.
Which all the episodes of that are out because that was a one release.
I can't believe I can't remember the damn name of it. It's that old age.
OLD will get you, man.
Yep,
it will
man.
get you.
It'll hit me later.
Okay,
what's his name? I can't remember his name. I think Amy Smart is in it.
Now, see, you need Blue here because she would.
Yeah, I know.
She'd know. She would know.
And I asked her if she's watched it, and she didn't watch it yet. And I thought it was right up her alley.
Yeah, I'm slow to grab some of those. I'm still working on Ozark.
I'm trying to finish that too.
I'm on Ozark. So those are new movies are out. I'm gonna go through and let's talk about. We're going to talk about one of the topics that I was going to mention today. Is some of the top shows, which let's see, open link. Nielsen actually released its first streaming list.
Oh,
which it's giving you a streaming list now because they weren't part of the list. So let me pull that up. Which I thought was a pretty cool thing. All right, we got that going. Yeah, you can see that. So Nielsen, they rate the TV shows. And actually, did you ever, back in the day, get a Nielsen's rating envelope?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I remember we got that. You got $1. Mm-hmm. They sent you like $1 taped to the form, and you had to fill out this. You had to fill out this book.
Yeah.
Whenever you had the TV on and what you were watching, and you had to fill this book out. I say it's a book. It was a little thing with some staples in it, a bunch of pages, and you filled it out and then sent it into them, and that's how they done it. I don't know how they do it now. I'm sure they're able to pull numbers.
Yeah, they pull it from the Nielsen ratings. They pull from the cable companies. I believe.
Yeah, that would be easier to do it. So. This was the first one that they did. It was from August 3rd to the 9th. And it only includes for the streaming sites, Netflix and Amazon. So you're a little bit skewed on this. And again, we're talking almost a month back. So let's say 3+ weeks back. And see, that week was the Umbrella Academy. And I can't really make this larger, but Umbrella Academy, 3,000 million. So what was it? 3,000 millions of minutes that people watched this, which is 3 times Shameless, which I'm surprised Shameless was number 2. Grey's Anatomy, The Office, Criminal Minds, NCIS, In the Dark, Dexter. Which is Dexter? Are they even making new Dexters?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's and now again, Dexter 316 million, so a tenth of what the Umbrella Academy
did.
Yeah, the Umbrella Academy they got 3,000 minutes, 3,000 million. So what would that be? 3 billion minutes? Be 3 billion. So that was the top 10, and that's 3 weeks back. And I thought this was a neat thing because most of us are streaming. So it's going to take them a little while to get this up to speed.
Hold on 1 second. I just looked off on the side. DJ Theme said it. Stargirl.
Stargirl.
Yeah. I like that one. I liked it, actually. I don't know if anyone else out there watched it. But it's I like it.
Let's see.
It reminded me of Heroes. When Heroes came out. Yeah.
Roger says Nielsen sends set-top boxes to host families that records their viewing, which I guess that would be an easier way of doing it.
Yeah.
See, they were able to capture it, so it's only certain people. Interesting though. It's like I thought that was an interesting little thing. One of the things I went to my Netflix. Now Netflix knows what people are watching for their stuff. Number 1 right now in the U.S. was Cobra Kai. And I'm not sure. Have you ever seen Cobra Kai?
I didn't watch it. It's on my list to watch. I didn't have it watched yet.
Cobra Kai, which was the newer version of Karate Kid. but it takes not a look from Marciano. What's his name?
Ralph Macchiano.
Ralph Macchiano.
Ralph Macchiano.
It doesn't take the movie or show is not from his view. It's actually from the guy that he beat. It takes it from his point of view more. Not a bad show. I watched it with Blue last year, I guess it was. And she made me binge the whole thing all in one setting. So we binged it.
But was Martin Cove on there then, or is he just coming back now? The guy who was the teacher, the sensei, the bad sensei.
I think he was in the first season. I'd have to look,
because I just saw something where they said he's coming to the new season, so I didn't know if he
maybe he wasn't. I mean, they do a lot of flashbacks in it. I remember a lot of flashbacks. So maybe he wasn't live in it, but it was a flashback of what he had done back then.
Yeah.
So not a bad show. I would, if you were a Karate Kid, but don't expect exactly Karate Kid. You want to it's pulling it from a different point of view. And it's 35 years later.
Yeah.
And how much his life has changed, and how Ralph is in a certain position. And this guy, I can't even remember his name, is in a different position. He's a drunk, and different perspective. Let me grab this link and let me copy this, and I'll share. We'll go through some of the news first before we get into some of the other stuff. So for people that are looking for the free options for your local or your some of the streaming services that's free, I know some people use Lowcast. Lowcast will only allow you certain channels depending on your location. And so that gives you, there's certain limits to that. If you go and do this, View It is how it's pronounced. View It. Actually, you're able, and it's a brand new service, you're able to watch different things. For me, since I'm in North Carolina in my position, it gave me, and you can only watch really news programs. And it was, or like the news. It gave me a station in Charlotte, one in Wilmington, one in Greensboro, or High Point, and then some in Virginia. So you might want to check it out if you're just messing around. You want to try something to see what's offered in your area. View It, just viewit.com. Check it out, and you can see it works on all the big devices. So you're going to be able to install it even on your Roku. So. And the old iOS. So yeah, you're able to watch some local news and local stuff going on. So you might want to check that out if something like this is worth checking out. I think you might find something in there that sparks your interest. So let me grab the next topic. And that is Mulan, or Mulan. I got Mulan on the brain.
Yep.
Mandalorian season 2. The date has been released for that, and I enjoyed Mandalorian. I'm not sure about everybody else. I thought it was good, but not. I don't know. I thought it was good. Blue loved it. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. Thought it was good. I would definitely watch it. They have discussed, and they will come out on October 30th, be the beginning of the second season. And you will only get one episode a week. So you can't do the big binge watch and watch all episodes in 1 week, or even like the Raised by Wolves or The Boys. You're not able to do 3 episodes at a time. You have to do one a week. So October 30th. Did you like Mandalorian?
I didn't watch it yet. And it's not because it's. I think one of the reasons is I was never really a big Disney fan.
Oh, okay.
So it really killed me when all the superhero stuff all went to Disney, and they won't allow me in Disney because I have a contract out on Mickey Mouse, so they won't let me through the door. Because I was always a Mighty Mouse fan.
Oh my
I
lordy.
said, what the heck does this, rodent have to fucking do,
Let's see. Jim liked the show, The Mandalorian. I see some other people loved Mandalorian. What's it? B. Davis. In Los Angeles, there isn't anything. Closest is Las Vegas. So, I again, that View It is brand new. I think it was released this week. So just this week. Yeah, Jim, we mentioned about The Boys. 3 episodes just came out this week. Came out today. I think it was today it came out. So
yeah.
It's on all of your platforms. Hey, Rick, how you doing? So we got Tableau. Now, have you heard of the Tableau?
Yes, I did hear of it.
So Tableau is, if you're wanting to store over-the-air content, so you have an outdoor antenna and you would like to DVR it, this would be a really good device to do that with. And how it works is that you hook up your antenna, your outdoor antenna or indoor antenna, if you're living close enough into a metropolitan area where indoor will work for you. Antenna goes into the Tableau and it will record. And then you also have to have a hard drive, because this one does not have a hard drive. You also install or attach a hard drive to it. It will record the live TV onto that hard drive like a DVR, and you can get it has a TV guide features, and then you can actually use it as a DVR. And then what it does is it offers it, then it connects to your Wi-Fi. So you have your Tableau, which your antenna goes into, and your hard drive's hooked to it. Then that goes to your Wi-Fi, your router, and it will broadcast the signal to any wireless devices in your home. So with this, you would be able to use your tablet or a laptop or your phone, and you would be able to watch content that you recorded off of over the air onto that hard drive. So this price, $99, which is $100. That's a really good price. Now, this is the light version. They do have some versions that have hard drives in it and all kinds of stuff. But look, you can automatically skip commercials, all kinds of stuff. One of the things about when you get to those hard drives, most of us that have a lot of storage, if you store in a lot of content, a lot of those people get picky about what kind of hard drives are in their devices. And if you're getting a drive from them, I don't know what kind of hard drives they put into them. So it's good to have your own hard drive plugged into it. You can buy, especially if you buy an internal hard drive, you can buy an SSD or whatever, and then you buy an enclosure. So you can buy a top of the line hard drive when they're on sale. Black Friday is not that far away. Buy one of those Reds and plug that into an external hard drive case, and then plug it right into one of this, and boom, you got a super stable, reliable hard drive that's going to last you for years, most likely. The hard drives are, you never know with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool little thing there. So, let's see. Let me close that out. I don't think I had any other major things on that particular subject. Okay. So I guess we're going to go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, bud.
Okay, no, I didn't know if you want me to hit my questions.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're ready for you. I'm ready for your question. Let's see if I stumble and fall.
All right. How about now when you're in, say sonar or anything like that, or radar, and you're looking for stuff? Is it better to have more indexers? Then, because I have 2 indexers. I'm trying to find some stuff that I can't find. Would it help having?
Yes and no. Okay. Yes and no. Yes and no. And what I mean by that is, of course, it would help to have indexers. But let's say you have 2 really good indexers. There's certain sites that people that are invite only. You talk to some people about what indexers are good. And some of them will talk about, and they'll say, And there was a couple that I see mentioned, and it's off the top of my head, I can't remember them, that are invite only, and they're very highly sought after, and they have a better and as Eddie says,
okay.
Oh, he's out of town. I was thinking, I thought he said retention. I thought he's saying retention. They have a longer retention, which means they have a longer library.
Right.
Some sites so you could have 100 so crappy indexers that may not work as good as one really good indexer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I understand.
So,
okay.
So I have that I pay for 2. And I'll tell you which ones I have.
The Drunken Slug and the
Drunken
MZB.
Slug. And MZB Finder.
Right. I have those 2 also.
NZB Finder. Yeah, I'll say that I really don't get lots of good results with that. Drunken Slug, I do get more results. And when I'm looking for high-end 4K stuff, I will find a whole lot more a whole lot more stuff in that.
Yeah.
If you talk you're in some of our groups, hit the BS chat or the Plex group, ask about some of the better indexers.
Right.
It may cost you more for a yearly subscription.
Listen, if I'm gonna get what I'm looking for,
right?
Because it's driving me crazy because I know it's got to be out there.
Yeah.
But I just can't get it.
Yeah, it's one of the things about that. It also so again, when you're using Premiumize, that doesn't mean it's going to find everything, because Premiumize is on a certain a certain network or a certain backbone, and then that's why you'll see a lot of guys will have extra, they call them block accounts. Okay. So let's say you're like now. So when you're looking for stuff, you're not finding it all, or it finds part of it and it don't finish it.
Don't find it at all.
Okay. So if it doesn't find it all, that would be an indexer issue. But I found when I was messing around with certain movies when I was doing my testing, it would download 80%, and then it actually has PAR files, and the PAR files can actually replace some of the missing files if some are missing. But I would have failures because it didn't have enough PARs to fix it because of DMCA, DACMA removals, where they'll remove certain things because there was they had a notice, the server had a notice to remove that content. Right. So that's why a lot of people get these block accounts. So say you download with Premiumizer and you get 80%. But some is missing, just that 20% is missing, or maybe even less. You would go to that block account, which is on a different network, and it would download just that.
That's what they needed,
small pieces, just the little pieces. Then it combines it all, and then boom, you've got your file. That's your name. I haven't really found an issue with that, but I can't say that I've used it every single day. I have an Easy News account. I actually added my Easy News to it also.
I have Easy News also.
So there's give and take, pros and cons to it. I can't say that I never find this stuff. There was certain movies when I was messing around that had failures, and it seemed like it'd be failure after failure. It didn't matter which version or what release I went for of that particular movie, it would fail, and it would fail, and it would fail, meaning that it was probably the MPA probably put out a removal of that particular movie from those servers that I'm pulling from. So I would try some different indexers. Again, the more indexers you have can be good, but if you have crappy indexers, only going to help you so much.
Okay.
Funster, what's up? Chris, Heavy Metal, thanks for you guys joining over here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Roger says, I use Plex integration, live TV DVR function, and my IPTV servers to do the last thing does to it. I have not messed with my Plex to integrate my IPTV into it. We'll have to talk about that. I'd be interested in screwing around with that with one of my services to see how that works, Roger. So maybe you and I can talk off show, and I can get some understanding, wrap my head around it before I don't want to stumble through it because I don't have any idea how that's integrated in. So, yeah, I invited Funster to join, but he wasn't sure if he was going to do it. And then we got Mid, build your own indexer, which Mid, I actually looked it up. I started reading about building your own indexer, and you can do it. But I didn't have the time. And I guess I see sometimes when I look at those things, I see the mountain I got to climb to do it. I see all these steps where I know with Mid's like, oh, knock it out, 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 knock it out. And he's over the mountain. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all them steps I got to get. And I get frustrated and I'm just give up. So yeah. Dean says to do that on make it in a live show. I doubt that Mid would help me make that. And I think that you have to give out too much information on some of that. When I looked at the template that you got to use, and I didn't Mid, if I'm not mistaken, don't you have to use a server with that also? I thought I saw on that you have to put in a URL to where it puts it on a server, if I'm not mistaken. So I looked at it. It's nothing that I'm wanting to jump into quite yet. So Zion TV. And everyone knows I'm not a big APK guy, but I know a lot of people are. I actually installed Zion TV for a friend's. They got a Fire Stick and wanted me to put some stuff on it. Mid says I could run it locally. Okay, well, I don't know. I'll think about that, Mid. I'll think about that if it's something I want to jump into. So I set up their Fire Stick and put some different things on it, and I'd heard lots of good things about Zion TV. Another guy I work with just says it's great. He likes to use it, so I put it on there. I'm like, and I actually went through the menu. And Next Level Tech was actually on the show a few weeks back, and he talked about it, and he's very well versed in that app, and it has a real Netflix feel. So if you're a person that has Netflix, you have that recent and trending, and it's like a long bar so it makes it very easy for a new person to figure that out. Added real to Brid and all that. But there's been lots of discussion about the forums being taken down, the Facebook groups taken down, the Telegram group, and I think the Discord group also gone, and it all happened within a day. Now, I have not spoken to anybody with TVZion. From TVZion. Hold on a second. I was going to pull up because I'm going to go to their. Let's see. Where is my? I had this saved up here as one of my TVZion. Hold on a second. Zion. Hold on a second here, folks. I want to read you from what they're saying. I don't want to paraphrase it. So, and why is my groups not coming up? There it is. Okay. So I'm gonna share this part of my screen, and thanks for that. I see the new people jumping in there. Thanks, you guys. Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna share my screen here. I'm gonna go here. And so you got that over there?
Yeah.
We got it. Okay, so we got it on there. And this is a Reddit thread. The developer of Zion TV.
Can you make it a little bit bigger?
Yeah, I can actually. Let me get rid of us.
No, that's hit Control Plus. Control Plus.
All right, hold on. Oh, I got to do it on this one.
Yeah, in that window, just do a Control Plus. No?
As big as I can get it without me.
Oh, okay. That was doing a Control Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I Control Plus that mug.
Okay.
Tell him be quiet over there.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, so we're gonna go through this.
There you go. That's bigger.
So the Facebook group was gone. The Telegram group was gone. The Discord group is gone. All of their social groups gone. Like boom, one day. TVZion or Zion TV that people talked about that it was having some issues. There were some server issues that people were complaining about. And so if we go to, let's go to the actual developer of this. So I know that Torrent Freak posted, and so let you guys make up your own mind. I'm going to tell you that we'll go through and we're going to read what he had what this is the developer of Zion developer. He says, so he tried to reach out to his mods. So at the first post that he put was that his mods were not getting back to him when it first all happened. All that stuff was taken down and no mods were getting back to him. So that happened. Finally, the mods got back to him, responded back to him, and said they enjoyed working and maintaining the groups, but they recently had a change of heart for personal reasons. They no longer wanted to maintain the groups. So the developer of this add-on does not maintain those social groups, the social sites, the Facebooks and all that stuff. He doesn't do any of that stuff. It's other people create these groups and basically do all of the customer service and the helping of people. He says, I'm as surprised as you are, but it is possibly a burnout issue, and this has happened before with the last group. They worked a lot of those groups, attending to everyone, defending when they face toxic people. It's possible that they are burned out and just want out. And any of us that have been in these Telegram groups or been in Facebook groups and you've done help, tech help via these platforms, you will deal with some toxic people. You'll deal with people pissed off because they can't watch their favorite show or their movie. Something's buffering, and there could be a range of problems. As the people that watch this show know, that there could be a lot of factors that can cause your movie or TV show not to play correctly. So it says in there, but regardless, I want to thank them for their support that they have given over the months. I hope the best for them for whatever next endeavor they stumble upon. New groups will be made soon. All right. So that's his mods. All the mods are gone. All of them quit at once. Okay. And on the server side of it, where people were saying that the Zion Club was sold out or issues with it. He said on here, the server was overloaded at 90% CPU usage. It went around 100, and that's why it went down earlier. I have set up some caps to get the server online, but it looks as though it seems that too many users scraper requests for the server to handle. And again, how this works is if you're Joe Smo and you want to watch something, you click the scraper thing. So his server, I'm assuming he's talking about the club. So when you use the club, it's pulling from the sites. Mm-hmm. That's CPU usage. It's RAM usage. So if you have more and more requests stacked on top of each other, you can have this problem. That this is not a new problem even for Kodi add-ons. Adding new Zion Club users at the moment would only degrade the experience for everyone. Disabling free users temporarily is one option, but that would require some code changes and tests before deploying it. That's why now Zion Club will be out of stock until I can fix the overload issue. Most likely saying I need to buy more servers because what servers we're using are at max limit. Mm-hmm. Because you got to think about it. These are people that are paying for a service to be able to get better links, faster links, or whatever. Again, I don't use the add-on, so I can't speak exactly how that all works. But that's the premise of it.
Yeah.
Personal note: timing. The timing of all this is uncanny. The server online as usual is online as usual. The app is working as usual. Existing Zion Club users can use the app as usual. Please refrain from spreading misinformation. He says he's going through some, I'm also going through some personal issues, and that's why we haven't seen any new alpha test versions. So he's in the process of fixing it. So, and it gives them all existing Zion Club members expiring will get an extra 14 days. So, step one, all of his mods on all the social groups quit in the same day, one day. Server issues at max limit. Okay, makes sense. Torrent Freak on the side note of this, and what he said or what he wrote in his thing. And I don't take Torrent Freak as gospel. I'm actually very suspicious of Torrent Freak, to be honest, because I think it's someone from the Cody community in the back. My gut feeling, I feel like it's Adam, but or some of Adam's friends. I just feel like that's where. But I could be completely wrong. I have no evidence to prove that. It's just my gut feeling.
Right.
That's my opinion. So what he wrote in there is that he was told and showed a letter that was given to one of the mods on one of these social groups. It didn't say which mod, didn't say which social group. And and as Torrent Freak said, it was a form letter of cease and desist. Now, we have seen these letters. My friends have gotten these letters. We've seen add-ons get these letters. They're pretty much a template. They're using the same template. They change the name. They change what things you've done, and they might cite some dates. But it's a form letter, and they're just going to pop it all in there. So in this article, he said that numerous people got letters that were mods and cease and desist, turn over the website, said all that stuff. So that's what Torrent Freak says. The developer of Zion says that he knows nothing about this, and it was on another thread where he actually said he didn't know anything about. I don't see it on this one. He said he didn't know anything about any takedown notices. He doesn't, and he says he's not been given any notices. So me being a person that has seen this type of activity happening in the past through add-ons or people I know or people that I've been acquaintance with, how this happens. So you're gonna get a form letter, and they're gonna give you that letter, and it's gonna state, and they're gonna come hand it to you, and they're gonna say, these are what you need to do. Stop now, and we won't prosecute you. If you continue, we may prosecute you. That's what it says. It's a maze, but that's how they'll put it. So what if, and again, got no evidence on this, y'all. I can't. But what if the mods did get letters? Because if you're a mod on Facebook or Discord or Telegram, maybe you're using your real phone number. On Facebook, you're using your real account name because you're not hosting this add-on or this app. You don't host it. You're just a helper. Just your tech support. You're not making any money off of this. So what's it hurt if you use your real name? Same thing with the Discord or the Telegram, this or that. So could Ace find out who those people are pretty easily? Very likely.
Yeah.
Very likely that they could have found those people if they were using real accounts, real names. The developer of TVZion obviously has been smart enough to shield himself from being able to be found out. And the reason I say that is he's been around a while, and he's collecting money from the club. Now, how he collects money from the club and washes it makes me think of Ozark. How he washes that money to get it in his pocket so that they can't track down very easily where that money went from PayPal to his pocket. So let's say that his mods all got letters. They got information. They got letters, and they're like, "Hey, I'm just doing this for free." Like a lot of Cody add-ons, I'm doing this for free. I'm just here to help. Maybe they got free club. Maybe they were given free club memberships for their help. Who knows? But the developer of TVZion didn't get a letter because he's not. He can't be tracked down yet. So could he be true on saying, "I've not got any letter. I don't know anything about this"? And Torrent Freak still be a little bit right by saying he's heard these things. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah,
very well could be. Both things could be a little bit true. Each part a little bit true. And if you put the pieces together, to me, it makes sense that the people on the Facebook group would be found out. I'll tell you one of the other caveats that I say, I struggle with the Zion TV developer saying there's no conspiracy and people quit all the time. When he says multiple people quit, do multiple people quit all in the same day?
Yeah, I know, right? Something's up.
And I will say this, y'all, when the people I know that got letters that were in teams, they all got letters at the same time. Ace doesn't go and give one person a letter today. 2 weeks from now, give another team member a letter. 3 weeks from then, give it. They usually work in a unison, even if it's all around the world. They work it's all one day or within 1 or 2 days. Boom, everyone gets a letter. So could it very easily be that those letters were given to just people on Facebooks and Telegram and Discord, given the letters? Again, the regular Joe Schmo, do you want to fight the Motion Picture Association for your free TVZion club membership?
Yeah.
Probably not. Now, the guy with Zion TV he's got more skin in it, because how much is he making off of this?
Yeah.
No idea. I would say it's a pretty high. I would say it's a nice big amount. I think so. I mean, it's popular. And what is it? $1.50, $2 a month per user. And think about that. That number gets big.
Yep.
So it's just like an IPTV service. That number, you think, oh, $5 a month or $8 a month. Oh, that can grow pretty quick. So the server's back up. It still works. The Zion is working, but all the mods left. And he's saying, well, they all got burned out. I'm suspect that they all burned out the same day. Unless you had one person that ran them all. Did you have one guy that ran every single one of your Discord and your Telegram and your Facebook and this and that? But even the Zion TV developer said the group quit. He didn't say the guy quit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm suspicious.
Yeah.
But my gut says that it was a letter. I mean, that my gut says that. Flicks chick, hey, Mr. E. I guess next level show is over. So maybe.
JJ had said something earlier.
Okay, so his show is over. So okay, so maybe they did it. Maybe that did happen. I'm not sure. So it's still working. We'll see going down the road. And as we know, I've said this, you get too big, it's not good. The top of any list is not good. I mean, Preppy Mama, hey, what's up? Flicks, Bama fan. Got Mr. E. Miami, get down. Grunt streams. JJ, tech reviews. So next level and Rojas show is over. So got their people jumping over in here. Yeah. So again, so what's your thoughts? I mean, what is other people's thoughts over here on the side chat? Do you guys think it was an Ace letter, or do you just think he's doing some maintenance and it's just changing of the guard?
If his servers were at that kind of capacity, and let's say he doesn't have the money for new servers, which he should have, and then you could see everyone else getting pissed off saying, hey, I don't want to sit here keep maintaining all this, and you're not getting anything, up to speed on it. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
I will say, and again, I'm not an APK guy, not a fan. I'd rather use the big K. The look of it is very Netflix look. So if you're a person who's using Netflix, and one of the cool things about it, you can very easily integrate your Real to Brit account, very easily integrate your premiumized account. You can very easily integrate your tracked account. And it had others. I can't say that it was easy news, but there was numerous services that you can add to that service. And
I looked online at it also after that week's show. And it looked pretty neat to me. I'm like, okay, I'll put this on the side. This is something I want to look at. But now I really got to think of what's going on now.
All right. So yeah, it's interesting. I just, again, Rick, thanks. Rojas didn't make the show. It was Next Level and Juggernaut. So yeah, if Juggernaut or Next Level jump on here, if you guys, I know I sent Next Level the link. More than happy to jump in here. Let's see. Funster says here. He says it can see the support being done with the management and quit at the same day to make a statement. Okay, there. Well, yeah. So if the developer is a dick, management of the add-on, and he's treating you like crap and not doing the right thing, could all of the people quit in one day? Sure. That all right. So that makes sense. So yes, Funster, I can see that being a reality. Again, we don't know. We don't know what happened on that whole situation. I'm thinking it'll work out. Hey, Juggernaut, if you like to jump in the show, you and Next Level are more than welcome to jump on the show. Thanks for sending over your peeps. And let me take a look. I know I sent one to. All right. So yeah, anybody that if you guys want to join, send me a PM, and I'll send you the link. So
I'm not a talker.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm sorry. I just got questions. You know me.
Yeah, you got questions. So I don't know. I'm just on the side chats, you guys. What? Yeah. So what do you guys think? Do you think it was a letter? Do you think it was or poor timing? Or I do think that Funster has a thing. What if all of the admins and the moderators got pissed off because the developer of the add-on wasn't treating them right, and all quit the same day? That very easily, I can see that. So that's a good scenario. Next Level. I read through the statement from the developer of Zion TV, and we're just kind of finishing up on that subject. So I know that you were very, about this add-on. That was why I had sent you the link, and I knew that this was possibility. So, or what the subject matter on this part of the show. So we'll know. So hey, thanks for sending over your viewers.
Yeah,
I'm glad your show went good. I just was a little thing burned out. And all for personal reasons. He said they all personal reasons. I'm like, well, I can see my wife if someone knocked on the door and gave us a letter, and that happened to, again, my friends. When you get served that letter, shit gets real. I mean, it gets real immediately. This isn't no hobby anymore. When someone's knocking on your door and they're giving you a paper and say, we could possibly take you to court. Yeah. You could get fined. You could get jail time. I could see that happening. When I was married, I could see, even now, I could see Blue saying, "Oh, we done. Oh, we done." Even with us not having an add-on, I don't have an APK run out. I can see her, if I got a letter for doing this kind of stuff, she'd be like, "Oh, these shows are done. There's no more of this stuff going on. We can do our Wednesdays movie show. You're done with this Friday night stuff." So, yeah, I can see it because. But I can see where the developers Zion DP, if he has enough level or layers to keep himself safe, and he's making an income from it, why are you going to stop?
Yeah.
So here's Mr. Next Level.
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
Hey, I actually saved this. I was saving this discussion for a little bit because I was like, well, once Next Level show is over, then maybe he can come on here because he was a Zion guy. So yeah, I went through, read the letter, read what Torrent Freak had said, and I said, okay, let's put all these pieces together. What do you think is the more? You step back and look at the situation. What does this all look like? And I don't know. I mean, what's your opinion? You're a guy that uses Zion. You've done all kinds of videos on Zion TV.
Yeah, I have. I don't want to believe it. I don't. As everyone else, they don't want to believe it. And I want facts. Because without facts, all we're doing is assuming.
Yeah.
And to be honest, there's just so many variables out there And I don't think anybody is telling us the full story.
No.
Right? So I guess having a platform, the worst thing that I can do is to assume.
Yeah.
Right? Because then all I'm doing is just fueling what's going on in the community right now. Because it's not just Zion that's in the spotlight right now. Right? We have a lot of groups that on their own accord have shut down. Right? Facebook has made some very interesting changes. And as of September the 1st, they shut down my Facebook group. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So my Facebook group had about 8,000 people in it. They shut down my Facebook group and they threw me in Facebook jail. No explanations, nothing, whatever. Right? So it's the strangest thing to go through when they shut down your group and they throw you in jail, because everyone's asking if you block them from the group, and they're shooting you messages. You can view the messages. They can see that you read them, but you can't respond. Right?
Oh,
so
you're in Facebook.
You're ignoring
Facebook jail. You're in Facebook jail. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't actually do time, but I guess when people saw that my group went down, and then Torrent Freak put out this article, and then all the stuff that's going on the Zion Reddit, everyone said it's time to take a step back. And I probably would suggest it's time, if you are doing what we're doing, if you're in this community, it's time to get off Facebook. And this isn't the first time that we've said this. It's not. We seem to go through this almost yearly with Facebook, where they go through like a purge, and they'll start getting rid of groups, and they'll start downsizing. And
they looked at certain. Remember, it used to be they would look for
words.
Cody. If they found that word, and they're like, boom, you're gone. Or IPTV, boom, they were looking. They would tag certain words, and
now it's not the same. Like, I don't know what they're doing now, because all they just said was a post apparently had copyright material. And I was like, what post? What did I post? That had copyright material. And they had an option to rebuttal it, and I clicked on it, and nothing. They wouldn't even take me to a page.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, cool. Peace. I don't need you, Facebook, anyways. But with TVZion, I looked at it from a couple different angles. I mean, we talked about it for like 2 hours on my show. Yeah. So I'm not going to go through everything.
I got you.
But I have a lot of questions. So I'm not going to speculate as to what I think is happening, but I'm going to ask certain questions, and then people can, I guess, ponder it on their own. 2 years ago, do you remember the TVZion dev from 2 years ago? So you remember he was in the limelight, right?
Is that when he posted about that he was going to put malicious code if people kept modding it? Yes.
Yeah. Is that the same TVZion dev that's on Reddit right now? Because the attitude is completely different, right?
Yeah. Well, he didn't have. All right, so I'll give you my to that. Didn't have the club back then.
Didn't have the club. No.
Okay. So what does the club give him now?
It gives him money. Right.
So when money is involved, you tend to act a little bit more straight, because they're your customers. You piss off enough customers, and it's like any business. Piss off enough customers, you lose in business. So maybe because back then there was no club, so he was doing it to help everybody. Maybe that could possibly be a factor or an influence. I mean,
but that's a variable. We don't know. There's no way to verify it, right? The second question that I would have is, when have you ever seen them shut down a Facebook or Telegram group before shutting down an application?
But I don't. All right, they don't usually. But what happens is all right. So whoever creates a group can shut it down. Right?
They can.
So you could, if you had a Facebook group, let's say Facebook doesn't shut you down, but you have a reason to shut it down because you're worried. Let's just say someone threatens your life in that group. Someone threatens you, and you're like, "Woo, I'm out of this group. I'm shutting the group down." Same thing with a Telegram group. When you create a Telegram group, when the creator on a lot of groups, if the creator leaves, it shuts a group. Because you ever seen the group has been closed and you don't even know what group it was anymore because it didn't even tell you it is gone. So
it is rare, though.
It is rare, yes,
but it's not impossible.
Not impossible, no.
Right. Another question is, I mean, we kind of explored this at the end of my last show, and I kind of got my answer to it, which I didn't like anyways. But I mean, the facts are the facts. When have you ever seen a non-torrent based application get a cease and desist?
Got a point there.
Well, didn't Terrarium TV got one?
It's not verified. Those were notifications he put through his own application. If you go and look through Torrent Freak, the only article that they actually posted was after the fact, after he shut himself down, right? So that wasn't verified, right? But the interesting part of that conversation on my show that just ended was Zion Club gave you access to Zbrid. And Zbrid was their own debrid service, meaning they had their own servers, which means they had their own cached torrents, which could also be an issue, right? If they're caching their own torrents on their own servers, that could be where the legality is, right? That could be the straw that broke the camel's back, like I said.
Because you're not just a directory on the internet saying go to this site, go to that site, go to that site. You're saying come to this site because I have the material here under my name and this and that. Yeah, there's just so many weird things about the whole thing. I mean, like we said earlier, it just seems weird when all the admins quit at one time, unless there's just one admin or one mod. But if all the mods quit at one time, again, I've had friends that got letters when we were in Bob and people got letters. It was all the same day. The same day they knocked on 4 different countries and gave out letters and says, you're in this, you're involved in this, you're going to stop or we will come after you. And numerous of my friends were on the show and said, yeah, the guy at my door. And so I'm just thinking, so if let's say Zion doesn't get a letter, I don't think he got a letter.
No.
Because I don't think nobody knows where he's at. I don't think nobody knows about it. But what if all the mods who maybe weren't as careful with their personal information?
Right. I mean,
they could be cracked down pretty easily, or maybe they could.
I mean, it would be the first time that would have happened that they went after, end users that aren't actually coders. No?
So, all right, I'll use this for an example with Bob. Okay, we stored we had no torrents, we had no we weren't pulling off a hard drive. They gave letters out to people that were just moderators on our forum.
Okay, that's crazy. Okay.
Just moderators on the forum. And it said, because you're giving technical advice on how to get content. Now, is that legally, could you take that to court and fight it? Yeah, you probably could very easily fight that. But most people would be like, is it worth me going and trying to fight this? I'm not getting paid. And that was what our friends said. None of us were getting paid. So even if you weren't coding it, like I said, for one of my friends, actually, it said on his letter, because of Noobs and Nerds forums and website, it listed the website that you've helped on the forums. So, be it if it's legally true or legally not true, they could threaten it.
Right.
And now maybe it doesn't even go to. They have no legal basis to stand on. Very easily to have no illegal base. But are you brave enough
to fight it?
To say no, screw you. I am fighting this.
Right. Because at the end of the day, these admins and mods were probably not making any money. No. Highly unlikely that they were. So why would they spend their own money to try to fight something like that? So 100%. Right. I agree with that.
And I mean that's what I saw. Like for me, when I saw what has happened in the past with the people I knew. And it wasn't like I was hearing it secondhand through, Joe Schmo or through Torrent Freak when all of ours happened. Like my friends told me, they're like, this is what happened. And the ace can say whatever they want about what they're going to prosecute you for. But you're thinking, am I going to roll the dice to fight this? I want to say there are some devs that have gotten letters that said F you and kept doing what they're doing. And they're still doing their thing. But it's like, you're taking. Most people are not willing to take that risk.
Right.
If you're just a mod, you're getting free Zion Club and maybe free Debrid, whatever. Are you willing to say, yeah, we'll take this. I got this. Yeah, we got this. I'll take the chance.
Yeah.
That's
until I started to explore the options of them storing content on their servers. I was kind of like, nah, it couldn't have been that bad, right? Because I've seen APKs get letters, but they were fake. Like BTV got a letter. I don't know if you've heard of BTV, but they got a letter.
I know BTV. I didn't know they got a letter.
They got a letter, but it was fake. Or they got a claim, and it was fake. It was from a fake company. Wow. I guess some political drama between them and somebody else in the same country, and they tried to shut them down. But I've never actually seen in the APK world, someone getting an order to shut down that wasn't torrent based. So that's when I started to explore: are they really torrent free, right? And then I started getting into cache torrents, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. They've stopped the use of purchasing more Debrid.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, their club, they said because and I can see that being I can see that being true, that their servers are at a maximum limit. Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we seen Real Debrid do that? That we're at maximum when the pandemic first kicked off.
Yeah. Yep.
Remember, everybody was home watching TV, and they had issue after issue after issue. So very well could happen. This goes hand in hand with one of the other subjects that I had written down, and that was scene busts, which happened earlier. I think earlier this week, the scene bust. So Next Level, you're familiar with the scene. The scene are the people that rip the TV show or movies. So the scene is when you look at a movie or a TV show, or even if you went and got an MP3 or something, at the end you're going to see a dash and there's going to be a name. Yeah. And it's been all kinds of names for forever. Now, Sparks released a lot of TV shows and movies. Supposedly, well, this they said that, and there was actually news articles written about that there was busts for that group. So what the scene people do is the scene people will get a DVD or they have software that's recording live shows, and they record it, they rip it, they post it on servers. And what happens on these servers, they don't post it to your Pirate Bay. They put it on like certain server colos or like server farms. They'll post on that server farm, and then racers will move it from this farm to that farm. And they do it by trading credits, because you cost you a credit, but then you get 2 credits for uploading it. And they move it around. So it starts at the one farm and then moves to all these other farms, and then it works its way out to the torrents. And then from torrents, then it gets on news groups, and then it's released. So these are the people that actually put that stuff on the server farms. That's who's got busted by the police. And that's where if they're going to do anything, that's where they have to kind of like point to, because that's the people that are actually ripping it. I saw an article saying that they were showing, and I want to say it was Torrent Freak, that showed the release dates and said that released pirated copies have dropped dramatically since Sparks was busted, because people are taking a step back, trying to be more, like you were saying, people are being a little bit more careful. Hey, homie got busted. Do I want to be busted?
Right.
But then in the same aspect, I say there's been a lot less content released. I mean, you know what I mean? There's
how much content can they release right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, shows.
Right.
I mean, okay. The biggest release this year was probably Mulan, and within 3 hours, it was released.
Yes.
So, to me, I haven't seen any change.
Yeah, right. And I mean, it showed on this graph, and it showed last week that it went down. And I'm thinking, well, didn't most of the seasons of shows finish off?
Yeah.
So there's no, because it was like 700 a day, or I don't even remember. It was showing up, and then it would drop way down. I'm like, but all the shows finished last week, so there's like no new episodes.
Yeah.
So you have a drop, because you're not allowed to rip, because with the scene rules, you're not, if you release a great copy, let's say you release a copy in H.264.
Yeah.
You release it, beautiful copy, sounds great. The scene rules is that I can't create and release an H.264 exactly like yours. I can't release the same thing out there under my name and say, under Dabs, I got it next level released it, but I'm going to release it. Unless you had something wrong with yours, then I can do it.
Right.
So
that's why you'll see a WebDL 1080p be released, and then you'll see a WebDL 1080p Atmos released. Or, that's when you'll see the codecs change, or you'll see additional audio, or you'll see, that's just how it goes. It'll maybe change from a WebDL to, an MP4 or
Blu-ray.
Blu-ray. Yeah.
So that's the rules with the scene group, with the scene release. They have rules, and it's real weird. Years ago, I was paying to be on a server farm where I could get that stuff. I mean, I could get stuff 4 days before a torrent site back then. This was early torrents.
Mm-hmm.
Before a torrent site, I could get something 4 days prior. And back then, this was like a 300, it was like 300 gigabyte at the time, and was growing into terabytes. They were gaining more and more servers. But this was, I think my hard drive at that time was like 200 gigs. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was years ago.
Yeah.
And I got tired of paying that $30-$40 to be part of
a farm,
that group. Yeah. It was all these people putting in money to be part of the farm. And you would see the racers come in, because stuff had to be started within 20 seconds of it released. And if you've ever been on a just lost my there's a scene release not Telegram, IRC groups that will show you when things are being released, and it'll say it's being released. It'll say 2 seconds ago, 5 seconds ago. Well, it had to be started on the farm I was on. It had to be started within 20 seconds that it was released. It had to be started. The racers would move it there, and then they would move it. So they move it to the shorter time ones and then move it to the farther ones. And they're all, again, zips, zip, zip, zip. So that's how this release, how is this going to affect down the road? I don't know. I do think it's going to have a little bit of a lasting effect, because this is new. I don't think the police have gotten this far up the food chain that often. When you're hitting Pirate Bay, or you're hitting add-ons, or you're hitting APKs, that's far down the food chain. Yeah. Far. So this is an early time that they're actually hitting farther up in the food chain. I do think it'll have some ripple effects. It will stop it? No. But I do think it'll.
So would it be fair to say we might not see the effects of this for another week or two? Because if they were moving stuff, let's say right now, the time frames that things were going down the scene pipeline was a week, right? And then they would hit
but this was back a while ago, so maybe things could be moved quicker now than what they are.
But I'm saying, like, worst case scenario. Right?
Yeah.
Well, best case scenario, if you want to put it that way, right? Let's say it took 7 days for the process of the scenes to be moved and for it to actually get to, because some torrent sites get released before other torrent sites, and then it would hit those torrent sites and then other torrent sites and then other ones, whatever. So whatever that buildup of that pipeline of those few days, maybe we haven't seen it catch up to itself.
Maybe not.
Maybe that bottleneck hasn't caught up to the torrent sites and all the applications and the add-ons and all that kind of stuff yet. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, it's fair, but I think that you mentioned something at the beginning of when we first started talking about this, and that was what was released today.
Right?
Mulan.
There's no way they could have that a week ago.
No, right. They didn't have that. They didn't have that a week ago. Right. They had that today. All right. The Boys.
Unless the Boys was released yesterday.
And it's out there.
Great quality.
What was Raised by Wolves? Wasn't that just released?
Yeah.
So again, I don't think there's back then. I think maybe there was more of a lag to get it. I don't think when there's stuff now. I don't think because again, we're talking. I remember it was so weird back in those groups. You could request anything. You could go on there and say, I want this. And it could be the craziest obscure book. As long as it was out there, some racer would get it for you and put it on the server because they got credit for putting it on the server. It was crazy, crazy time. So just pay attention, y'all. If you see about the scene busts, that's what it is. That's what it's talking about. It's talking about the ripping groups, the groups that actually upload the actual content, not the guy that uploaded it to Pirate Bay, but the guys that actually ripped it from a DVD or put it out. Huh?
But scene is not one location or one person.
No. It's scene is like it's supposed to be. It's like it's groups.
It's the process.
Right, but they're called they'll say the scene because they're supposed to be these background shadowy characters, and they're different groups. What's Trump? You ever see a lot of now? You see a lot of Trump a group, and they're part of that scene.
But what I'm trying to get at is, it's impossible to hit all of the scenes.
No, you can't hit everybody. They're not going to be able to. But can they put a scare in some of the others to be a little bit more careful about what they're doing? So just like with add-ons, all right, we've seen this with add-ons. One or two people get busted, everybody goes quiet. You start seeing people get real quiet for a little while until they kind of dust settles, and then all of a sudden you start seeing the add-ons start popping back up. So I think
I see some of the comments here, like Jason says, I've seen some of my regular TV shows not coming out as fast as the bus before. But let's be realistic. I mean, we're living in COVID 2020 right now, right? Mm-hmm. People are occupied with a lot of different things. So even though, a lot of people do these things as hobbies, maybe they have a lot of other things that they're looking after or taking care of. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, right? Irregardless, we're still getting grade A content coming out every day. Even when there's times where people aren't going to movie theaters, when releases are not going to theaters, we're still getting grade A content. Yeah. Maybe some of these TV shows that you're not seeing on a regular basis are daily TV shows, like your soap operas. Those take a lot of work to maintain.
Yeah, so they're almost impossible to find.
I can see those not coming out as frequently as before, right? So I think we just have to be mindful of the situation, the scenario, and the times that we're living in as well, right?
Right.
It's not.
Anyways, I'm not going to be on too long, but the last thing I wanted to add about that Zion thing is when you're reading information from whatever source you're reading from, pay very close attention to the words they use, right? Because for instance, a lot of people are talking about burnout. Burnout was never confirmed. The Zion dev, according to the Reddit post, all he said was possible burnout. So did he actually talk to the mods and administrator from the group? Maybe. He says he did.
He said he got contact finally, yeah.
He said he got contact, but even though he got contact, he doesn't have a reason why. All they told him was personal. So he assumed burnout, or he's telling burnout to the community to keep it, copacetic. I don't know what you want to call it.
Keep people calm.
So
hey, as the band plays on,
so pay close attention to the words that you read. Pay close attention to what's fact and what's not. Right. As far as I'm aware, I mean, yes, Torn Freak has been right a lot. Right. How do they get this information? They have to be in our community. And the other thing that kind of bothers me a bit is the only way for them to get this information in my mind is if they pay for it, right? As running a group, why would somebody grab the letter that they got to cease and desist and just run over to Torn Freak at 2:00 in the morning? Does that make any sense? Like, why? No. That doesn't make any sense to me. So they have to be paying for that. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. They're paying for information. I don't see.
I've been, and I've said this numerous times. I am highly, highly suspicious, and I always, whenever I read anything from TF, he's right a lot, but he's not right all the time. But he's right a lot, and I'm very suspicious. I'm suspicious who he is because I still think I have suspicions and who I feel like it might be, but I don't take it as gospel, and that was why when I started my whole discussion about Zion, I said, hey, I don't know anything. I'm going to give you here's what Reddit says, and this is from the developer. This is what Torrent Freak. You step back and take a look and paint where you think this is, because we don't know. We won't, even when I get done talking, we still don't know any more than we did if you read the 2 articles.
Right.
But don't drink the punch and believe 100% of either side. I think right now, I don't think everybody. I think you said the right thing. I don't think anybody in this.
Anybody, yeah.
Is
nobody's giving us everything.
They're giving you a little bit to keep everybody going in the direction they want.
Yeah.
Torrent Freak just wants people to click on him. That's what he wants. He wants you to click on his group, on his webpage, and read.
Torrent Freak is hearsay, right?
Well, yes, but I'm saying, the reason why he posts all the time,
he needs clickbait.
He wants people to click.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. And what JJ's Torrent Freak is working with Ace. He gets information. I remember. All right. I'll give you this. He back then. If I'm not mistaken, he was one of the early ones that talked about Bob when we got letters. The next day before we said anything to anybody, there had been nobody had said a word, and he was already talking about. And I'll go back to Adam, and if people say I jump on Adam. When Adam told the people in our group, some of the guys on our Bob team, and said, "Hey, do you guys know that your real names are on some of the servers that you guys had rented? Because people bought URLs and bought servers years before." And told some of the people in our group, "Hey, did you know your real name and address is on that on your GitHub?" I think it was GitHub. He said, "Did you know your real name and address is on the GitHub?" And this was 4 days before that person got a letter, a knock on the door. Ever since then, I was like, Mug, how do you? And he direct messaged one of the people on our team and said, "Hey, do you know that your name and address is on GitHub?" So
why did you put it up there?
Yeah, no. So yeah, I don't want to get Andrew going. Andrew, he'll go on. He'll get going. So yeah, I don't know. It's suspicious. So don't believe everything. Just we'll see how this all plays out. We'll see how it all plays out.
I'm just gonna leave you with 2 more things, and then I gotta dip. So one thing is that there's a lot of, I hate to call them end users, but streamers that are ignorant. There are. And they assume that a lot of the services that we are using are completely legit. And when stuff like this goes down, they treat it like a legit service. And there can be long-lasting, impactful effects on a whole bunch of different things in the streaming community if people start to continue to treat it like a legit service and do things like chargebacks and start fighting it, thinking that it's a legitimate service if they purchase Zion Club. So I think that we walk a very fine line as content creators in this community. We have to, one, educate people so they're not ignorant, but at the same time we have to do so in a way where we're not fear-mongering them. And that sometimes is a very tough job to do. So, I mean, that's the only thing that I can really say, is that no matter what you do, there is a risk, but you have to do your research. Don't be ignorant, and just do the best that you can.
Yeah.
And don't freak out. Sky's not falling.
Don't Torrent freak out.
That's a good one.
Butch, thanks for having me on, man.
Hey, next level, thanks for coming out, man.
What's up? Yeah.
Hey, thanks for sending 1,000 people over at
your show. I seen your numbers hit over 100, and I was like, damn, you got more people than my show.
I'm up to 110. Look out.
That's great. That's great.
Hey, well, people love drama. But we're not trying to create drama. Just giving you figure this out for yourselves and just stay calm. Stay calm, folks. That'd be my end on that.
Do your research. Anyways, everyone in the chat, have a nice weekend. What's up? Thanks for having me, and I will see you guys.
Wait, here comes Arb.
Yeah. I knew he was going to jump in here. So, all right. Take care. Next level. Bye. Hey, Andrew, how you doing, bud? This is not Wednesday. This isn't Wednesday,
I know,
man.
right?
I know. But you sent us the link, so I thought I might as well show for a little bit.
Yeah. So
what's up, brother?
we were just there going on about the Zion TV and talked about that. So yeah, it's been kind of the subject of the last couple days, I guess it's been. So
I just caught the last 5 or 10 minutes of you talking about that.
Yeah.
How you doing, bro?
I don't know the story though, because I don't really follow.
Well, one of the things and you were in the group back when Bob was out there, and how it was interesting how Adam had information before the people that were served, he knew before. And said, oh, your name, your address is out there. I mean, you remember when we had that discussion in our Telegram group prior to anybody even getting a letter? It's like, oh yeah, well maybe I need to change that. So it's
2 days or something.
Yeah, it's interesting how he knew prior, unless you knew because you're working with somebody. Just saying, could happen.
My personal opinion of that is I feel like he was always digging into other groups, GitHubs, and trying to find trying to find the identity for the emails. And Todd's gone. So I guess it's mine and yours.
Yeah.
Dog show now.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can keep him out or
bye? No, man.
Crap.
You thought.
All right. So it was going to be a good show there for a second.
Yeah, you thought. So yeah, you're right.
I always feel like he was just digging into everybody's stuff, trying to find out people's things, and then he just got lucky, and he definitely was sending stuff to people.
No. Well, that's crazy. Let's see. There was RD was having issues on and off, y'all. So if you're an RD user, you've probably seen RD having issues on and off. They didn't post anything on Twitter or nothing about that, but numerous people were reporting to having issues with Real Debrid earlier this week. Well, towards the weekend, earlier this week. I'll even say I noticed some. I was messing around on the website. I was I was testing some torrents. I'm putting a torrent on there just to see, and I would put it up, and it would the whole website was acting funky. It was like I added the torrent, and then you know how you can add the magnet link. I added a magnet link, and it just sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there and sat there, and then I refreshed the page, and then it opened that box. It shows you all the files, and then I see it's downloading it, and it's just sitting around there. I'm like, okay, it's not doing nothing. I waited 2 or 3 minutes, hit refresh. Oh, it's completed. Oh, okay.
I just having issues like that also.
Yeah.
And even I was having a lot of issues even with Tracked, trying to go into Track this week.
Yeah. But I do think, so people have talked about add-ons having issues with Real Debrid. I do think there's some underlying problems there. And Real Debrid has not said anything about it. They have not taken claim to having some major downs or whatever the issue there. But there has been some type of hiccups going on. So don't blame the add-on you're using or something. I do think there's something else going on, and maybe that's
I was going to say it. It seems like it's more often than not now that this seems to go down.
Yeah, ever since
from what I saw anyway.
Pandemic. Since the pandemic, it seems like they've had more issues. Premiumize had an upgrade to their they did a maintenance upgrade earlier this weekend or earlier this week. It was earlier this week. This is Friday. So it was earlier this week. They had some server maintenance. And that was down for just a little while. I haven't had a lot of issues. So I can't say that. I know that I was reading some of the Reddit and people bashing on Premiumize and just bashing it. I've never really had many issues with them, but I don't use it every single day, but some people have been bashing on. So if you see some of that stuff, you might message me and I can test it on my end, because there has been some internet issues. And that was one of the things I was going to mention earlier this week. And I don't know where to find the website that shows internet outages.
Downfinder.
Downtime or something.
Down. What's that on this other window here?
Because there's like a down detector.
Down detector.
Down detector. Okay, down detector outages. Because there's been where I've seen some stuff where it had like it showed like a map of the U.S. and it had like a map of different areas in the U.S. that were having internet issues. So that could be a very realistic issue. So it could be not necessarily your grid service or this or that. It could be outages of internet or slowdowns of internet in certain hubs. And I want to say the 2 times I saw it, it was one time it was in like in the US, it was like all of like Florida, Louisiana had a big splotch there and a splotch like up in the whole Northeast. And it's like a big orange and then it kind of filters out. So maybe that's some of the issues that we're having, that there's some issues with the internet on these pipelines. So don't freak out. Don't go bashing your service online, because it could be all kinds of things. All right, so give me my $25 back. And
what's Claire saying there? Claire just posted something. Not to be ignorant.
So, how does one keep up the news in our world of streaming? I follow a handful of places on Twitter, handful of people, services, companies. I follow a handful of those. I also keep up on between the Telegram groups. And if anybody knows me, I'm in about 1,000 groups on Telegram. So I'm not that I'm nosy, but I'm nosy. So I try to I pay attention. I mean, because sometimes you learn from all these different people. So yeah, you can learn, but
that's why we're all here.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow some of these people on Twitter, you'll sometimes get bits and pieces, and then if I follow one, I get some information, I'll go to look somewhere else, and then I usually try to go and actually Google certain things, and then to back up what I'm trying to figure out. But yeah, I do know that there's been numerous outages posted. I know IPTV issues. There were some different groups I was in for IPTV that people were complaining about, and it's due to some of these outages. So
a lot of times I'll trace route to see what the heck's going on.
Okay. PC Paul says, I've seen a few server issues having to do with patches due to exploits. Yep. And yep, that's very well could be.
Yeah.
DeBeach says, just watch this show once a week. Let the butcher do all the heavy work. Sometimes Sandman's right. This is another place.
Yeah, Reddit's a good source.
Yeah, it's another good source. Again, you got to filter through it, because 80% of it is fanboys or flamers, and flamers as in just someone wanting to argue. I guess flamers could mean too, but it's just people want to argue. You know, it's like they're just looking for a fight, and they're just going to be just shitty just to start something. Yeah. ARB was like that all the time. No.
Was.
Yeah, it was. But you know, there used to be people that you'll see people that just try to pick a fight, and they're like, you know, calling people dickheads, and just it's like, do you just want to argue? I mean, that's all you want. So
you just gotta like follow like whatever service you're using. If it's IPTV, then just make sure you follow whichever service it is you use, or check their website regularly, or like you said, Real the Brid, follow them on Twitter. The websites, or as someone mentioned in the chat, as the Beach mentioned in the chat, just follow this show once a week, because you seem to be doing a good job, especially recently. You do like recaps of everything that's happened during the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through the news from cord cutters and the different things going on. I kind of touched on all those because I was trying to hold off on the Zion because I was hoping that Next Level would get here. I held off on. I was like, I'm gonna go through the new things in streaming, which wasn't that many things this week. Just a lot of good shows coming out. A lot of good shows in the last day or so. One of the other cool things, and since I'm a gamer, I'm a nerd. One of the things is I'll pull up the new Neo-Geo bar cabinet is going to be released, and let's see. Let me try to pull up their website. Okay, let me share this. So for people of a certain age, you guys might remember some of the Neo-Geo. The Neo-Geo was back in the day. This system was the most expensive system for home use that you could buy. The system itself was like $700, $800 for the system. And this is when we were all using. This was before. This was after Atari, so we were probably in the Atari 7200s, maybe a little later. We were not in maybe the early Nintendo days, so we might have been in the early Nintendo-ish days. And then this system came out, and it came out with a $700-$800 system out, and this was out of Japan, and then came with real arcade games, and each game was $200.
Yeah.
So this system here is actually it's going to be a bar cabinet. It's going to come at $499, and that's if you pre-order it. And it's going to be this sets on top of your bar. It's not a big, humongous case, but if you order it early, you'll actually get the base. It's going to be 50 games. So you guys remember? I don't know. Metal Slug. Did you guys ever play that game?
No, Metal Slug, yeah.
No.
And Metal Slug was
it was 1990. This came out.
Yeah.
The original.
Metal Slug was a Neo-Geo game. And like some of these are some of the titles. Let me see if I can zoom this up. No, won't let me zoom this page. So you're talking Metal Slug, you're talking Final Fighters, King of Fighters, that's King of Fighters. All the Metal Slug, Final Fury, Art of Fighting. I mean, it had a lot of big games, World Heroes. Mostly were fighting games, but this system's coming out. I have a bunch of these on my Raspberry Pi. I would highly suggest getting on a Raspberry Pi. But if you're a person that wants to have a whole cabinet, you could have a full-size cabinet, and you can see this is the riser. The bar top sits on top of it, and you're able to have this whole system. So I thought that was a neat little thing. I think $500 is a bit much for me, but if you're an old nostalgia guy, and you want to go back to playing the old Neo-Geo games, well, guess what? You'll be able to play these games. And it actually has a lit up marquee. This marquee lights up. So I thought that's if you get some of those cheap boxes, what's that? 1UP? Most 1UPs you have to get a aftermarket kit to have a lit up marquee.
Right.
So you got that going on. Whoa, Funster's going to jump on here. What's up, Funster?
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Just a bit busy today.
Ah, well, nice for you to join us. I know it's near the end of the show, but more than welcome to jump. Like to say thank Funster is a guy in the community doing all kinds of lots of art, icons, some APK conversions, does all kinds of stuff. Anything you want to talk that you're willing to talk about, the things that you work on or not work on? I don't want to put you on the spot of.
No, not at the moment. I'm doing more stuff on other people's builds and icons, and keeping up with the add-ons, which one works and which don't.
Yeah,
so
you
yeah.
And you released for people that want to mess around with
19
with an APK for Kodi.
Yeah.
Didn't you release didn't you put out a Kodi 19 APK?
Yeah, it was just more to see if it can be done.
Yeah.
And since there was in the group people needed to test the 19 version, I thought I throw it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, and when we talk about it's a separate APK for anybody that may not know this. So when you install something on your Android device, let's say it's Kodi, and so you install Kodi. You can't install another Kodi that's called Kodi. It has to be another installation of something else. So people can sometimes create another APK because normally if you had Kodi 18 on your device, you would not want to install the Alpha 19 because it's so half-ass works. It's in the early stages of development, so it doesn't work perfectly. They're working on it, so you don't want to overwrite what's working with something that's kind of working. So people can, like Funster created an APK where so on your Shield or Android box Fire Stick, you would have your stable Kodi 18 build just like it works. And then you could put another APK for this Alpha 19 and try things that are coming out, so you could see what it looks like and how it works without it interfering with your 18 build. So that's one of the benefits of some of the people that will create some forked APKs, and it's so you can have separate builds, almost like I've talked about portables on your computer. Mm-hmm. People have portables. That means you can have individual installations of Kodi without one messing up another.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've done that, and I really appreciate that because it makes it easy when people are doing testing, like you said, if wanting to check stuff out.
Mm-hmm. That's why I put it in that chat.
Yep. Yeah, it worked out really well. Yeah, it's it worked out, and I actually I had it on my Shield, and I was messing around with it, and because if you're messing around with any of the add-ons trying to get ready for 19, you're just bug fixing. You're finding out what works, what doesn't work. This works, that don't work. And then so that those things can be fixed prior to 19 being released, because 19 is not going to be released anytime soon. There's nobody has a date set, but their Alpha 1 is out. So you're going to have several alphas, then they're going to go into beta, then they're going to have a release client. So we got numerous steps before we get to that 19's on your device.
But I think 19 is already pretty decent for just the odd kick outs.
It does seem, and when I was talking to one of the developers, and now we're talking to him, he's like talking about Python 3 actually is a better system. He says it's a better code. He says it's more efficient and things can be done better in Python 3 than in Python 2. So he sees a benefit, and we talked when Mid talked about that he said Python 3's been out for a long time. He says, and why Kodi waited so long to ever jump into Python 3 is, it didn't make sense. And yeah, I think they have a good base. There has been some crashing issues when I've messed around with it, random crashes. And yeah, I think that they. Was that me?
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that there's some issues and random crashing. I think that we'll see what happens with that. So you've messed around with it. I mean, so what other projects are you working on that you willing to tell us about, or?
I just try to update my builds. They don't need much updating, but I updated one last week, and then an add-on that was needed in the build had an update, and it kind of screwed the whole build, so I had to do it again.
Yeah, you got to hate that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's a domino effect. Sometimes.
Yeah, I was using Fan for the widgets, and I can set that the widgets from Fan open in IEM, and that part kind of messed up on the last update. So it was a widget heavy build, so it screwed everything.
Yeah. Well, was it a Fan update? Was that
Yeah, it was an update from Fan. I think I got a Python code, so I think it's with the conversion from him trying to be something like that.
Because we talked about that. We talked about that last week or week before that. There's a couple different ways to do your Python 3. You can actually write it from scratch, start from the base with Python 3 and build up, or a lot of add-ons are using the conversion tools, using some websites and some different tools that takes the word from here and over, and it's almost like you're translating, and just like a translator. So when you take it from one language to another, sometimes the translator's not exactly right when it translates over. It what I might say is a beautiful sky, and then it translates over into French. It might not be. He didn't say a beautiful sky. He might have said, "Oh, that's a blue sky," which doesn't mean the exact same thing. But yeah, there is some add-on. I know you said Finn. I know Saren supposedly did the translating.
I can, but I can get Saren to work on 19.
Yeah, there's a dependency issue. What's an XBMC dependency issue whenever I try to install it. He posted and said that it was ready. He had posted in one of the groups I was in and says, "Oh, it's 19 ready," but maybe it's a dependency from Cody repo that's not 100% 19 ready. Fletcher Mandado. Oh, Andrew.
That's too much.
So yeah, because I try to install it and it gives me that XBMC thing error, dependency not met. It's like the version number is not correct. So, but he had posted in one of the groups I was in and said, "Oh, it's ready." So I guess I need to jump back in that group and say, "Why is it not working?" Because I tried it. I did try. I showed it last week. That one with the big O.
Yeah, the ode.
The ode. That one's working. Seems to work pretty well for what I've messed with. I mean, I've messed with it. Pull a movie up, search. Shadow seemed to be pretty decent, but I think that it's working decently. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens going forward with that. And I was going to mention, I normally talk about Shadow at some point in the show, and I know I sound like a fanboy on this. So Shadow, I did some settings video yesterday on that. So if you want to understand about some settings, I actually did a video to explain some of the settings. So if there's some settings that you're like, what does this do? I don't understand that. I tried to explain it thoroughly enough so that you'll understand. The only thing somehow I skipped the subtitles. He added subtitles in the add-on and I missed it. Well, I didn't miss it. I knew it was there, but when I was finishing up the video, for some reason, I thought I'd went through all of it. He's looking to do something new with Shadow. We may see another Shadow come out. He's poking around and he's writing some stuff, thinking he might do something. So, if you're in the Shadow group, you may get bits and pieces but he's possibly wanting to make it a little quicker, remove some items out of the current version.
Okay, good.
And make a new version without those things that are in it already. And like slimming it down because he's finding that there were some certain things that may have been causing problems. So he's rewrote a lot of it. And so we may see another version.
Yeah.
And so people will have multiple versions to pick from.
I would like that actually, because it's not only the speed of the add-on, but if you got to move from menu to menu to menu to get a fast scraping, it's also giving a slow experience.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's from menu to menu. So we may see something. He's in the process of it, and he's brainstorming and writing some stuff up. So I know that there was a video posted in the group showing some moving through it. But just like anybody, when we've done some stuff and you create something and then you create it and you're like, I could have done this a little bit better if I would have done this, not just change it on the back end, but if you had to change something early on, if I'd have done this a little bit differently, and built it a little bit differently, it would work differently. And I think that that's where he's doing a little retrospecting, looking at it and saying, what if I did it this way? This might work a little bit better. So that could happen. Could happen soon. So I do know, and because some of the features, I'll be honest, there's a lot of features in there that they don't interest me. I mean, I'm not. If you cut off 2 seconds, it really. I mean, because it's a 7 second to 12 seconds that I'm watching a movie or a TV show, so it's not long. But there's other things in there. Like I don't. For me, open scrapers, I don't need that. I mean, if I got
there are thousands of add-ons, hundreds of add-ons using open scrapers.
Yeah.
So
it was like that, and there's just a few other things. I mean, I really wouldn't need the subtitles in there, I think, but I'm not, me being biased that I'm American and I'm speaking English. Most movies released in English. So yeah, I probably don't see a super need in subtitles.
I do. I like my subtitles because sometimes, believe it or not, you could be watching a movie and the character whispers something to someone.
Yeah, you're right.
And they show it in the subtitles. And that, I think, it comes in so handy, sometimes.
But do you find that Cody gives you the correct subtitles, or you think it needs?
If not, I'll jump to my, open subtitles or Subscene or somebody, and I'll find the right one, and I'll set the that it works correctly, by doing the count how many seconds it's off, and then I'm fine,
Yeah, I've Subscene, and isn't that the one you got to sign? You have to just
open subtitles. You can register. I register with open subtitles.
Is it that one? Because there was one that I remember. Because I signed up for one, but some people, I don't want to have to sign up for something. I mean, it's a free sign up.
Yeah.
What the hell? Right. I don't know. I think sometimes people just try to find a reason.
But you don't have to sign up for open subtitles. But it's better. I
thought it was Subscene. It was a Subscene. You got to
open subtitle. That's why they're two different open subtitle things in Cody.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you have a free one, and you have the original one. You have to sign up, and that's easy. That's better for when you speak. You have a different language, because when you sign up, it searches for your language.
Yeah,
better.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I know that. I knew that. Shadow put that into the actual sense, so you can actually use. And it gives you a list, and I don't know where he pulls it from, but it gives you a list.
Right.
I was messing around with Planet of the Apes.
What
was it? War of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay,
remember where the monkeys were talking?
Right.
And you and if you didn't have the subtitles, it would be like,
right. You
didn't know what the hell you're saying.
Right.
But you didn't want the subtitles for the rest of the movie, so it would have just those 4 subtitles to be in for just that part. But I want to say I pulled that up, and I was good because I was thinking, well, maybe I'll use this to make a little video, and it was like 40 or 50 subtitles listed for just that movie. So you got to find the right.
You got to find the right.
I think Shadow has the percentage shown in front of them. So the higher the percentage, the more likely it is to fit. Yeah. I think 67 works for me already. It fits.
Okay. Yeah, I knew that. I messed around, but it's hard for me to find stuff that and to be able to check which one's versus this one. I don't know. I get, like I said, I don't watch enough stuff that's needed subtitles, so I'm still learning on that part. So yeah, we'll just see what happens with in the upcoming time in Shadow. I will post information. There's a couple other add-ons. One of the Marvel Universe add-on if you want to take a look, you can look on Kodi Apps. I spoke to the developer, and he said it was okay to talk about that. The it's a Gen template add-on, but it is just Marvel movies, TV shows, and cartoons. So if you're a big Marvel fan, it has all the genres in there, or all of them in there. So that was a neat. And I saw that it was moved up in the list, and then I saw who made it, and I sent him a message. I'm like, "Hey, you made that?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it's like I said, it's a Gen template. It has Debrid, so you need, it really helps if you have a Debrid account so that you're able to get good links. If you're not using some type of premium service, you're gonna have poor experience.
Definitely.
I mean, yes, you can find links that are free. You will, well, usually, but it's not going to be it's not a good experience. It's very, very limiting. Funster. So, what are some of the add-ons that if someone was asking that you would? I mean, I'm not trying to promote any certain one. This is not who's your favorite. I'm just, you said Fen. You mentioned that Fen, and I've never used Fen. So,
yeah, I think you should, for scrapers, you should look that they use different scrapers, scraper sets. If you make a build and you put in 6 or 7 scrapers that all use open scrapers, if open scrapers goes down, you got nothing that works. And I think you should look into the Gen add-ons that you put in add-ons that have different content, because most like to have the basic same content, but I think you should use gens for specific content that's harder to find or harder to scrape.
Well, because with Gen, you can create, it's easy to create those certain playlists that are certain content. Yeah. I want to say, if you're just into skateboarding, some people have, just skateboarding and surfing. They'll have, like you said, certain content, really narrowed down.
Yeah,
and you're right about that. You're right about the having different scraper sets. And because if you have a whole bunch of things using open scrapers, you're getting the same content no matter which one of those add-ons you're using. You're going to get the same type of content. You're going to get the same content or same results.
If there's an issue, you don't have a scraper fallback.
Yeah. I know Saren does his own pack.
Yeah, on my phone I use Saren, and with the party mode auto start from the official repo. That's for on a phone. That's the easiest thing. You open up Kodi, and it just goes to. You can set like progress in track. You can set it as a favorite, and then when you open Kodi, it just goes directly to your progress for TV shows. I think that's very handy on a phone.
And you said it was which add-on?
I think party mode auto start. It's in the official Kodi repo.
No, it's an official one. I don't even know.
I'll have to check that out.
It's like Fan has an option to start Fan when you start Kodi, but with that add-on you can do it for every add-on.
Huh. I'll have to look at that. Yeah. That's interesting.
It's nice for on a phone or on a tablet I watch mainly TV shows, not movies. So the progress from track, I use it all the time. So it automatically opens. You can start there. The normal delay is 6 seconds, but you can turn it to 0, and it insta opens.
Okay. And what was that called again?
I think it's called party mode auto start.
Party mode.
For it. I think it's in program add-ons in the official repo.
Okay. That sounds pretty neat.
So what TV shows you watching right now, Funster?
I'm gonna start The Boys. I just revisited a show which I hardly do. Penny Dreadful. I saw the 3 series, and I'm watching Legend of Tomorrow, Star Trek, I think. Tales from the Loop. I started, but it was slow. Brave New World. That show I started because the writer of the novel is based on lived in my town for a short period of time. 000 I watched.
How is that one?
It's quite good if you're in the mafia thing.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to watch that.
That's because you're from New York.
Yeah, that's right, baby. We don't mess around, man.
Yeah, mobster.
We want to see everyone shot up.
I always have a hard time because I just started a new tracked list, a new account on Tracked because it was too messed up. My collections and my
yeah, sometimes it's easier just to start over because it becomes a damn jumbled mess.
It's free, so why don't have multiple accounts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Tracked. I fought tooth and nail not to start using Tracked way back. And I'd fight. I'm like, everybody wants Tracked, blah blah. It's so stupid. But no, it does make your viewing experience just so much smoother. It keeps track of what you're watching, and
man,
just make it easier to keep a list. When I'm out and someone talks about a show, I'll pull it up on my phone and add it.
Same thing.
I'm like, done.
Yeah.
And then when I get home. So what Lovecraft? I forget Eddie in this damn Lovecraft country.
I haven't started that one because I always wait until there's 6 episodes or something from a show.
Yeah. Well, I finished my Alone show. I finished that because I like that survival, and like I said, working through Ozark. So, and I watched that Nosferatu. I finished all of that. And they've canceled it, which that's fine.
They canceled it.
Yeah, the second season. I thought the second season.
I know. Yeah, I was just about to start the second, so I guess I really shouldn't.
Well, you can watch it. I mean, they kind of take it down a different road, but I don't know. I just felt like the storyline was doing this all the time. It was like,
I didn't see where they could have went after the first.
If they just stuck with what's working, snatching up kids and sucking the life out of them, and him being younger. Boom, there you go. Stick with that.
Yep.
Stick with that right there. But no, they dragged it along.
Yep. Have you checked out that Tales from the Loop?
No, who was it? Roger? Roger had a hard on for that.
Yeah.
I've got it. I have it on. It's actually on my track list, and it's on my when I pull it up. Series. I put it on Series Tracker too.
Yeah, you gotta watch it.
He said the first couple episodes were kind of slow. Though.
It was slow, right? But just give it some time.
All right.
It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Because things are like everywhere, but by the 4th episode, you start understanding what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, we'll try it. I've got to wait for. I definitely want to watch the Raised by Wolves. I definitely am going to watch that, and then the Boys season 2. I got to get back into season 1 to catch up. And Umbrella Academy. I
haven't watched it yet.
I've got to go. I'm started back on episode 1 because I couldn't remember. It's been so long. I need to go back because I didn't remember what the hell happened in season.
Well, you remember the think about the invisible guy, and you should remember the first episode. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No.
JJ it says that I see he sees me being a P Valley guy. I am a P Valley guy also. Yeah.
They also canceled Altered Carbon. I quite like that show.
Well, again, I thought the first season was kick ass. The second season, I was struggling with it. I was struggling to stay with it. And it was easy for me when our first season, I couldn't take my eyes off the TV. I wanted to watch one episode, and then I had to watch the next one, and then I wanted to watch the next one. The second season, I could be watching it, and then all of a sudden, I pick up my phone and I'm doing this and half watching it.
Mhm.
You know, there was something missing in that second season. I couldn't. It just didn't grip me. Maybe I had too many other distractions, but I thought that that had great potential, because in Altered Carbon they didn't need to stick with one actor. They could change that guy every single season. They just put him in a new sleeve. It's a new person. You know, so I don't know. The other show I got to catch up with, finish, is the third season of Westworld.
Okay.
I still got to catch that up. So
yeah, that I liked how they brought that together. I don't think a lot of people liked it, but I because it was you saw how like it started getting like slow in a way,
yes.
But for what they did at the end, for me, it wasn't like how the ending of the first season was. The first season ending was just like, oh my gosh, this is great, but it's hey Andrew, see you later.
See you, bud.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I also watched The Alienist.
The what?
The Alienist.
Oh, The Alien. With what's the name there? Dakota Fanning. She's in that, right?
Yeah.
I've not watched that.
Yeah.
I've not seen
it. And if you like that, you're also gonna like Vienna Blood.
Yeah, see, Auburn's got all that free time. He's like Charles. Charles, like, I don't have time for this. I'm like, you got nothing but time. What the hell? I'm going to work every day. You retired. Like, what am I gonna do today? Yeah, I think I'll do the same thing I did yesterday.
I always watch shows because they're smaller. They don't take so long, and then I end up watching 5 of them in a row.
Right.
Let's see. Bob says, "What's everyone think of the Batman trailer? Looks good." It does look good. But did you hear that?
Right. Yeah. Go ahead.
What's his name's got corona?
Yeah.
Who was it? Pax? What's it? Who's
Batman?
Whoever's Batman in there. Yeah. Not Patterson. But
Robert Pattinson? No. Yeah. Is it Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, they put a hold. They put a hold on the.
Yeah, he's got COVID, so it was putting a pause on that.
Yeah, it was Robert Pattinson. Yeah. Thanks, Roger.
All right, so let's go ahead and we'll wrap up because we're at 2 hours. We need to get up out of here. Funster, you're welcome to jump in here earlier anytime if you want to. You're more than welcome. Well, more than welcome to show any of the work that you want that you have. You can share your screen. If you let me know on the front end, I can actually add it to. If you don't want to share your screen, I can add it to my Kodi portable, and I can share it on my screen. So any of that stuff you want to do, I mean, it's up to you. Not pressure.
This is actually the first time I have a computer I can do StreamYard on. With my last computer, I made my builds on almost all of them. I couldn't even watch YouTube on it. It was like a real old,
That made it difficult. See, that's more work for you.
Doing something in Photoshop, I drank coffee all the time.
Waiting for the next thing to load.
It was like saving, got stuck on 49%. I could make a cup of coffee, come back, and maybe it was finished.
Wow.
But now, but I'm just need to figuring out things like this. This is the first time I'm doing this.
Yeah. Well, and you're more than welcome to. This is it's real easy. You can share parts of your screen. You can share tabs. Anytime you want to just jump on it, if I'm available, you want to come on to a StreamYard. It wouldn't have to be online. It could just be between you and me. You could practice things and test things. If you're more than welcome to do any of that, I'm willing to help people to get comfortable. Once you do it a couple times, it's not so bad. So, but anything you want to say before we roll? Funster. Funster
Yeah.
B.
Yeah,
all right. So am I pronouncing the
yeah, it's actually Funster and then BE from it's my land code.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Funster BE. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I got nothing special today. I just jumped because I was wanting to do it all the time, and you asked today, so I think because it's past 1 o'clock here, and I gotta get up early.
Yeah. Don't mean to be holding you up late.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for Albin. Anything you want to say?
Want to thank everyone out on the side. Thank you for everyone in here. Remember, fights tomorrow night on UFC.
Fight night.
Yeah, fight night, baby.
ESPN. That'd be ESPN Plus.
It might be Plus.
Yeah, it might be. Well, yeah, it's probably Plus. Yeah, but it'll be on one of the ESPNs.
Yeah, it'll be on one of them. Yeah, have a good week. Thanks for having me and enjoying me being quiet, and keep listening to Dabs' yap because he loves that and I don't. He's like my alter ego. You know what I mean? He can sit there and just keep talking about everything, but he knows he knows a lot, and that's why I'm glad I'm here and being able to ask these stupid questions. I know they're not stupid to the rest of the world, but hey, this is a great platform for it, and I thank him every time. All right, all you, bro.
Yeah, well, again, thank you, Albin, for jumping in on the show with me. Thanks, ARB, who jumped in but then had to go to bed because it's late where he is. Funster, thank you for jumping on here. And again, I try to open up the panel. People get nervous that they're nervous of their speech or they're nervous of how they might be. What I really, really love about this community is that we're not all from one country. We're not all one set. This is a global project or a global community. And so just because someone doesn't speak a certain language or speak it as well, hats off to anybody that can speak more than one language, because I struggle with one. And people... I struggle with
Fletcher
Yeah, but yeah, if I struggle with just English words. There's certain words I can't even say. So anybody that can speak more than one, hey, hats off to them, even if it's not great. Hey, you're doing way better than me. So anybody's welcome to jump on the show. I've tried to make this an open and friendly platform. Try to teach things, try to show people things that I've learned. Did I know all the facts on Zion TV? No. Try to give you some things to think about. These are some options from where I got the information. You decide for yourself on what that is. But the sky is not falling. Don't freak out. Also, don't go. I say don't follow any one person. Don't even take everything I say as the truth. Take what I learn, what I say, and go and research and compare it to other things. Bunch says he has 3 official languages here, and English isn't one of them. Well, you did a very good job with English. I was expecting to struggle. You did awesome, to be honest. Awesome. So nothing to be ashamed of there. So again, thanks. Next Level Tech. He's over on the side chat. Thanks for him jumping in on the chat, and all the people that watch on the side. Come in, go out, watch this later. Thanks for that. I want to thank all the people that work in the scene, in the community, making add-ons and builds, and to just do the stuff that we enjoy, to make my life more enjoyable, pleasurable, saving me money. We're doing all that. So, we got Wednesday night. Wednesday, we got a couple. No, Wednesday is the review show. So next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 10 p.m. on UK. 10 p.m. UK. It was going to be our review show. So we're going to talk about all the movies, or not necessarily all the movies. We're going to cover what are your favorite movies, what are your worst movies, and we're going to just hit categories some of the categories that we had that from our last show that we talked about. Best movie, worst movie, longest movie. We were going to talk about the Black Panther. That was going to be you needed to watch Black Panther for remembrance on that. You liked it back then, but it didn't hold up. Like some of the movies that didn't hold up well. You liked the movie, but you didn't expect the funniest movies and movies that made you cry. So those are just some categories that we're gonna hit out there, and we'll see what happens with that. Just as a fun show. I want to thank the people that come on and that come on the panel on Wednesdays.
And just so everyone knows, there's a link to a list of the movies out there also, and this way you can come on to the show and watch. If you if you've seen all the movies, you can voice your opinion about them too.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen most of them, and they're fun. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun night, and we have a lot of people come on the show all the time. Yeah. Just people that never. We had Roger on here. We had Eddie. You.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of some other people. Diana came on.
Mm-hmm.
We've had numerous people that have done nothing but just watch YouTube videos. Actually came on our show.
Yeah.
And that's what that show's about, opening the door to anybody to come on and just talk movies. So look for that. Again, thanks for everybody. Thanks for everyone watching. Sorry we ran 2 hours, but dabs. And as Alban says, I like the yap.
He likes the yap,
Hey, streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you. We'll see you all in the next